City of Bulawayo. Magwegwe Wastewater Ponds. The tour takes you through the wastewater treatment process at the Magwegwe Ponds, located approximately 15 kilometers away from the city center. Magwegwe Ponds comprises of 9 ponds adjacent to each other. The treatment process has 4 major stages of treatment, namely pre-treatment at inlet works, anaerobic processes at ponds 1 to 9, facultative processes at ponds 2A to 3, and aerobic processes at ponds 4 to 9. The 9 ponds have a total treatment capacity of 3.50 megalitres per day. Domestic wastewater from Magwegwe, New, Old, North and West, Pumula East, Pumula North and part of Lobengula West flows in through the inlet works. The inlet works comprises of 2 lines, Pumula Line and the Magwegwe Line. The pre-treatment inlet works. This occurs at inlet works, and herein there is a coarse screen of 20 millimeters and the second fine screen is 15 millimeters. The domestic wastewater passes through the screening process, which traps rags. From there, it passes through grit channels, which help in the settling of inorganic material, which moves at a velocity of 0.25 to 0.3 cubic meters per second to allow settling, which is then removed every 24 hours after it has settled. The removal can be done manually or using grit pumps. However, when it rains, the removal interval is then shortened. The screening and grits are removed to slow the rate of filling the ponds. Screenings and the grit is then disposed of within the plant. Recordings of the inflows are done using a flow meter. Primary treatment ponds 1 and 2. Anaerobic ponds. The phase of primary treatment occurs in these ponds 1 and 2, and these have good depth of up to approximately 5 meters. These are robust and can accommodate sludge for a long period of 15 years on average. The inlet and outlet are ideally diagonally opposite to maintain the 21-day retention time for the 4 processes to occur. The scum floating on the pond is then oxidized, and aerobic bacteria, which leads to settling of solids, organic solids, must remain in this pond. Bubbles of hydrogen sulfide gas are usually seen during the day. In these ponds, colloidal particles are oxidized by anaerobic bacteria. The outlets of these ponds have a cascading zone to allow the absorption of oxygen. Ponds 2A to 3, the facultative ponds. This stage is the secondary treatment phase, and herein there is the formation of algae that will give out oxygen. It has 3 layers. The upper layers in the ponds are aerobic. The second one, the intermediate layers, which are an interface from aerobic to anaerobic, and the bottom layers that are anaerobic because of the biomass. Pond 2A is wide in size to facilitate the absorption of oxygen. It has 3 inlets and 2 outlets to allow for even distribution of the sludge waste. Ponds 4 to 9, the maturation ponds. This is a tertiary process of getting rid of all bacteria through starvation, ultraviolet radiation. For example, during the day also helps in getting rid of all bacteria. They die and settle as biomass at the bottom of the pond. This is the final treatment in the maturation process. The final treated water is then used for irrigation projects and meets Environmental Management Agency (EMA) standards for fitness for discharge into the environment.